Okay, so whether you trade stocks or cryptos, especially if you trade meme coins, you need to know about this roaring kitty phenomenon. So let's talk about it. This is the Hey Ed YouTube channel. I am your host, moderator, and all-around nice guy, Edward Anderson. I'm not a financial advisor, so do not construe anything that I mention in any of my videos as financial advice. Always do your own research before doing anything with your money. Okay, so I went to work on Wall Street in 1987. I started out as a stockbroker, then made my way up to trader, and then eventually a trading instructor. So I was very fortunate. I was able to see all the evolutions in the world of trading, and not a first row seat to many different phenomena along the way. And what we have going on right now is a phenomenon that's taking the trading world by storm. And if you're a trader, whether it's in equities or whether it's in cryptos, and especially if it's in the meme coin space, you need to know what's going on with Roaring Kitty. Now, Roaring Kitty is a moniker for a guy named Keith Gill. And a lot of people attribute him as the original GOAT, the OG in the meme coin space. So a couple of years ago in 2021, he was a very big influencer in the meme coin space. And people listened, paid attention to what he was doing. Now, I say the meme coin space, but really the big hullabaloo around him was on a stock called GameStop. And then he kind of disappeared for a couple of years, and now he's back. And a lot of people are really excited that he's back, because I think a lot of people see him as kind of a way to, become rich by, following his coattails. So last Friday, he had a very widely published and a much anticipated, Zoom call. Let me give you a little taste of what that call was like last Friday.
Kind of tested it. Can you hear me? I can't keep up with this chat. You can hear me? Yeah. Okay. I mean, I can't read this chat. The chat. Oh, you can hear me. Oh, excellent. I had to dust this shit off to get this working.
Okay, so I got to tell you, for an hour there, it was a whole lot of nothing. He didn't really say anything. He was talking about his beer, and he was talking about, just nonsense. And he really only talked about GameStop in a very kind of ancillary way. I mean, he showed his position, and he talked a little bit about, the founder, of GameStop, but that was it. It was like an hour of watching paint dry. It was, I'm sure that for a lot of people, it was disappointing. But actually, there was a method to his mediocreness. Now, in my research on this guy, I did find out that he has, a pretty good handle on compliance in the industry. And I think he was purposely trolling the SEC ghouls, which are undoubtedly watching the live stream, hoping to get him on something. And so he purposely gave them nothing to work with.
Today, there were a lot of questions about what he might say on Friday and whether or not that would land him in hot water. From what I saw, didn't seem to be anything that would necessarily be a big red flag for regulators. But what did you think?
Agree. I mean, he's a smart guy. He holds many FINRA regulations. He knows exactly what he's doing. I saw the whole thing as a stream of consciousness. He's not telling people what to do. He's only discussing his personal opinion. That doesn't give regulators a lot of wiggle room with what they want to do.
Yes, I mean, as I mentioned, E-Trade is considering blocking Keith Gill from the platform amid growing concern about stock manipulation. Would you consider the same?
Yeah, look, when I looked at the facts that I can see based upon what Keith has done, really there's no reason to be banning him from their platform. I think it's actually a black eye for Morgan Stanley to take this position.
Okay, so he reportedly turned $53,000 into apparently like $300 million on paper, right? In options. Now, I'm sure somewhere along the way, I'm guessing, he took I'm guessing this man has FU money, right? So he can afford not to have to worry about making money off of getting you involved in whatever he's doing. One of the reasons why I want to point this out to you is because Wall Street is a game. Okay, it has very little to do with fundamentals this, fundamentals that. It is a game. And historically speaking, the retail investor has not had much of a chance because the institutions, they know how to play the game. And most people out there in the retail industry do not know how to play the game. They just have a vague notion that it's a way for them, to get rich, and so they get involved, but they don't really know what they're doing, and they just end up being fodder, for the big guns on Wall Street who do know what to do, and they know how to pick your pockets. Well, what we're seeing right now is another kind of revolution in the trading space. Trading has become much more democratized over the years. When I first started in the industry in 1987, I mean, the only people who had access to level 2 information were the big guys at the back room of particular brokerage firms. People these days who are trading, you guys are spoiled. You don't know what you have. But having access to that information is a little bit like giving a loaded gun to a kid. I mean, it can be kind of dangerous to have that kind of information and not know what to do with it. And these days, with the advent of the internet, and I mean, listen, trading influencers and teachers are a dime a dozen out there. That's one of the reasons why I don't bother creating my own trading channel, because, competition is too great. What the heck? I mean, yeah, I used to be a trading instructor. I was teaching the public how to trade before trading was popular. And from time to time on my channel, I do share some little nuggets of trading wisdom here. So another reason for you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, because you never know when I'm going to throw out little tidbits for you that you can use to make yourself a better trader, at least give yourself a better chance of success. But anyway, let's get back to this phenomenon. I mean, he is kind of spreading the trading gospel, so to speak, to the masses, and he's like giving you guys some insight into how to play the game. I mean, the way he is playing the game in this example of GameStop is he is destroying the shorts. Now, let's talk about what shorting is for those of you who don't know. Now, shorting is a way of making money on a stock or anything when it goes down in value, okay? Now, most people really only know one way to make money on a stock or anything else, right? That is to buy low or sell high. Well, with stocks, you can actually do it in reverse as well. This will leave it at that. So now if you're long a stock, if you own it, the most you can lose is 100%, right? That's it. The worst that can happen is it can go to zero. But if you're short, you're making money the opposite way, right? So if a stock goes up, the amount of money you can lose is unlimited. So one of the tricks of trade in trading is, if you want to be a long, if you want to be a long trader, is to look for stocks that have very large, short positions, because when the stock starts to go against them, it could create what they call a short squeeze, and stocks can skyrocket to unbelievable levels. And that's what happened here. So the last go around, he created a short squeeze and benefited hugely on that. Now, whether GameStop is a good investment or not is kind of irrelevant. Again, you got to understand what the game is. And it's usually not what the average person thinks it is. Now, of course, the regulators would say this is dangerous stuff and people shouldn't be doing this. This is, the nanny state stepping in, trying to protect us. Trust me, the SEC is not there to protect you. The SEC are full of, these guys are essentially extortionists. All right. They go after people who make innocent mistakes, and squeeze them for all the money that they can get out of them. I don't have a whole lot of use for the SEC because they have been corrupted, especially when it comes to the crypto space. But they are a government agency, so they've got all the guns, so to speak, right? They can make your life miserable. They can put you in jail if they wanted to. So they're part of the corrupt government cabal. And that's what was going on in last Friday's live Zoom call, on GME, is he was basically, trolling these guys. He had their attention there for a whole hour of their lives, and he didn't give them anything. So this guy, he does know the game. He does know where the lines are drawn. So he has, pushed himself back into the limelight. He has made himself relevant. So people like him, they can move stocks, cryptos, meme coins in a very dramatic way just by mentioning it. He doesn't have to tell you to, to buy it or to short it. He doesn't have to tell you to buy options on it. He doesn't have to make any recommendation at all. All he has to do is basically say, all right, I have a position now in this. That's it. And that's enough to garner, and if you have, a stock or a meme coin that is, very low volume typically, and it's not widely followed, and all of a sudden it gets a lot of attention, it can scream. So, that's why I think, especially if you're in the meme coin space, you want to, at least know who this guy is. So even if you don't pay attention to him at all, if you hear him mentioned randomly, it might be worth it for you to check him out, because even if you don't participate in the particular, meme coin or stock that, that he's talking about, it could have a knock-on effect to whatever you are trading. So you do need to be at least aware of this guy. So far, as far as I know, he has not ever really mentioned a particular, meme story. And so far, he's famous for talking about two stocks that I can tell, GameStop and AMC. But these days, in the area of meme coins, people will make memes on topics that are in the news. So let me show you how I am participating in this roaring kitty phenomenon at the moment. Again, not financial advice. Again, like him, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing. So let me show you how I'm playing this roaring kitty phenomenon. Okay, so there is a roaring kitty meme coin. Now, I think there's a couple. I think there's a base version and Ethereum. Right now, we're looking at the Solana version of the roaring kitty meme coin. And this is the 50-minute chart. Let's go to the daily chart and take a look at what it's done. Okay, so this meme was created 2 months ago, about 2.5 months ago. And you can see, okay, so that is one big day. But before that, it was trading at, decimal 302. And it did have one day there where it shot to 0.03, so 3 cents, almost 4 cents. Actually, in today, it got over 4 cents, and then it crashed, and then it spent all this time going sideways. And then the news came out that he was going to be doing that live Zoom, last Friday, and in anticipation of that, it had that nice run up. Since then, it's been pulled back again. And as of this recording, and it is June 11, it is trading at decimal 0185. So, so almost 2 cents. And the market value on this guy at the moment is 13 million. Okay, so this is why I am playing with this roaring kitty meme coin. If you believe that this gentleman is going to have a continuing influence in the marketplace, he's going to garner more and more attention. And that's all a meme coin really needs, is attention. It doesn't even have to be good attention. It can be, it can be bad news. As long as a meme coin gets attention, it gets eyeballs, it gets publicity, it can go up in value. So personally, I theorize that this coin could be worth, right now it's trading at a $13 million market cap. I think it could easily be worth 100 million, plus in market cap. Now, I could be wrong, right? But listen, you can only lose 100%, right? You can only lose 100% of your money. So the money I put into this, the worst that can happen is I lose all of it, okay? And that's the way you want to look at these meme coins, by the way, is, that's your attitude, is you can only lose 100%. So, whatever monies I put into it, I'm okay with losing all of it, because the upside potential is what? 10x, 100x, maybe 1,000x, eventually. And that's the way I typically look at all meme coins, by the way, is I say to myself, okay, what am I willing to lose on this guy? How much money, so, okay, if I lose $1,000 on this guy, I can live with that if I lose it all. If I put $30,000 into a meme coin, can I, if I lose it all, can I live with that? So it's all about risk reward, right? The most you can lose is 100%, right, on a particular meme coin. But the upside on these meme coins is, basically unlimited, right? How many times do you see meme coins run, 1,000x? Now, here's another way that I am playing the roaring kitty meme. Okay, so we all know that GameStop is the stock that he focuses on. That's the big name. The other big name that's associated with him is AMC. So rather than trading the stocks themselves of GameStop or AMC, I choose to trade the meme version of those trades. And GameStop, it's the one that's in play. So what I'd rather do is look for the one that's kind of not in the spotlight yet, but eventually it probably will be. So here's the daily chart on the Sol version of AMC. I think there are other versions. I checked them out, and this one has the better volume. So this is the Sol version of AMC meme coin. You can see the volume on this guy is good, 1.1 million, and his market cap is still very small, 5.7 million. So again, with this meme coin, I am willing to take a position on it and just be patient. I think that's the way you need to play most meme coins, by the way, is when they rock and roll, they can soar in a matter of minutes, really. But you never know when when that breakout is going to come. So you have to do your due diligence, do your research on it, and take your position for whatever reason. You like the idea of the meme coin, and eventually it's going to have its day in the sun. And until that day comes, you're okay with it not doing a whole lot of anything. Because if you wait for the breakout, you're going to be chasing it, right? So I think you do want to own it before everyone else likes it. Now, the price you pay for that is you might be wrong for a while before you're right. Okay, it could go down 50%, 80% before it actually has this big run. I mean, this is the trade-off you have to make if you're going to be trading in the meme coin space. So listen, whether you are actively following this roaring kitty phenomenon or not, you need to be at least aware of it because it could influence whatever meme coin you are in. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of it. And, if you want to participate in any of the ideas that he shows, again, he doesn't really give you recommendations. He essentially just shows you what he's doing, and you can do what you want with that information. This guy is very smart. He's very good about emphasizing that he's not making any recommendation, which is what I do with everything that I show people, right? I go out of my way to tell people I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm just showing you what I'm doing. I'm not telling you what to, buy or sell, because God knows I could be wrong. But one advice I do feel, good about sharing with you is the usual one is if you do get involved with meme coins, understand that they are very risky and that you can lose 100% of whatever you put into any particular meme coin. So if you do get involved with any kind of a meme, make sure you only do it with money that you can absolutely afford to lose without putting your lifestyle at risk. Okay, listen. Especially these days, we have a lot working against us between our government and the economy and inflation. There's a whole lot that is set up against us. So you need to be creative. If you want to stay ahead, and if you want to get ahead and stay ahead, maybe even become wealthy, you're going to have to take some risks, whether it's meme coins or whatever. You're just going to have to. It's kind of unavoidable. And more people these days are starting to, latch on to trading. The idea that, they have a shot at changing their lives. And we do not need the government telling us what we can take risks on. People go to Vegas all the time and they put money down on the roulette table, but, they allow that. They allow people to buy stocks. They allow people to buy mutual funds. Hell, they allow people to get married. We talk about risk, right? Listen, if you're over 18, you're an adult, right? You should be free to take whatever risks you deem, attractive. And, and people like me and other guys on the internet are here to share ideas with you once in a while to help you, improve your chances, in the game. If you don't mind, please like and subscribe. Ed Anderson, live from Minnesota, signing out.
Copy that.